Hey, what's going on, guys? And this here is the OnePlus 6. This phone has gotten a lot of attention since its debut, so I thought I'd give you my take on the phone and highlight the things that I love and hate about it. This format is going to be a little bit different than the reviews that I've done in the past, so make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you think, or simply give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this from me going forward. OnePlus has always done a good job delivering a smartphone that's pleasing to the eye, and the OnePlus 6 is no exception. The phone is sleek with all the right curves and feels amazing when you run your fingers over it. While Samsung, HTC, and Apple are always praised for their top-notch build quality, OnePlus definitely deserves to be added to that list as well. But while the glass back of the phone looks incredible, I'm not a fan of the build material itself. I criticized Apple for using glass on the back of their phones for years and simply don't understand the reasoning for it. Sure, glass can be manipulated in 101 different ways to deliver amazing colors, but it's simply not durable enough to stand the test of time and day-to-day use. The one distinguishing hardware feature that I love is the alert slider, which sits right above the power button on the right-hand side of the phone. It allows you to toggle between the ring, vibrate, and silent modes of the phone without having to fiddle with the volume rocker. Personally, I love the tactile feel of the slider itself and always appreciate when a manufacturer adds hardware that's actually useful. And OnePlus even gives you a few customization options for it in the settings so that you can tailor it to your own needs. It might seem odd to highlight the 3.5mm headphone jack of the OnePlus 6, but surprisingly, this feature is not that common anymore. I have no issues itself with USB-C headphones since I have my fair share of them just lying around, but there's something surprisingly satisfying about plugging in your headphones using the 3.5mm headphone connection and feeling it click into place. Like most other smartphones these days, the speaker of the OnePlus 6 is located on the bottom edge of the phone. It's loud and does produce decent audio, but you have to be constantly aware of how you're holding the phone since the speaker grill itself is located on the bottom left-hand side. This wouldn't be an issue if the phone had two speakers, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that's annoyed of having to adjust the way that you hold the phone when in landscape mode to make sure that the palm of my hand isn't blocking the speaker. OnePlus has never been known to have a smartphone camera that can actually compete with true flagship devices, but things have changed this year. The images that you get out of the 16-megapixel camera on the back of the phone are absolutely phenomenal. The results are so good that it's hard to notice the differences between the pictures from the OnePlus 6 and those taken with the Pixel 2 or even the HTC U12 Plus when you're taking shots in daylight. And what's even more surprising is that it fares decently well in low-light situations as well, thanks to the optical and electronic image stabilization systems that are paired with the new sensor. It'll even take pretty good portrait mode shots thanks to the secondary 20-megapixel sensor that's on the back of the phone. Though I'm not sure why the resolution of that sensor is so high since it's only being used to capture depth information for the images. While the cameras on the back of the phone are great, the front-facing camera does need a little bit of work. If you're an avid selfie taker, you might actually want to consider another phone for that task. The images captured with the 16-megapixel front-facing camera are mediocre at best and don't capture a lot of details. And the dynamic range sensitivity of the sensor seems to overexpose the background of the images nearly every time. Not something that you really want when you're looking to take a picture of yourself while capturing the background as well. When most people see the OnePlus 6 for the first time, their attention is immediately drawn to the notch. I'm not a fan of notches in general on smartphone displays, but OnePlus has done a great job to ensure that it can be hidden by switching the top bar to black. But the panel itself is absolutely gorgeous, especially when you consider it only has 1080 by 2280 pixels. The default color calibration can be a little bit punchy if you're not used to it, but there are a handful of presets to choose from if you want to tweak the settings yourself. But what I love most is the overall brightness, allowing you to use the phone in direct sunlight even on the brightest day. A smartphone with a 3300 mAh battery used to be the ultimate dream back in the day, but that's when displays maxed out at 5.2 inches. With a 6.3-inch display, the OnePlus 6's battery simply isn't adequate. You can make it through a full day on a single charge, but you'll have to make sure that you're not playing too many games or watching too many YouTube clips throughout the day. I usually finish off the day with 10 to 15% battery charge, but I have actually killed the phone completely several times when staying out late with friends. And I can tell you this, it's never fun trying to squeeze in a picture with your friends at the end of the night when your phone only has a 3% charge left. The good news is that the 3300 mAh battery can be charged from 0 to 60% in just 35 minutes. OnePlus has ditched the dash charge moniker this time around in its marketing materials, but the charger and the cable that come with the phone still have the dash charge name labeled on them. Regardless of the name itself, charging the OnePlus 6 is extremely fast, beating out most other devices on the market these days, even those with Quick Charge 4.0 support. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor used inside the phone is pretty much standard for all 2018 flagship devices, but having 8GB of RAM definitely isn't. Combined with a lower resolution display, the processor is able to outperform practically any other Android device that's on the market right now. I'm still not sure that 8GB of RAM is a must-have feature for everyday use, but it is a multitasker's dream, allowing you to switch between about a dozen different apps or games without ever having to watch them reload. The final item on my list is the phone's price. For $529, you can pick up the base model, which comes with 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. But if you do have an extra $50 lying around, I'd recommend picking up the model that I have here, which doubles your storage and adds an additional 2GB of RAM. Honestly, the price of the OnePlus 6 is actually what makes it stand out from the competition. The phone offers flagship tier performance in nearly every category, but it costs $250 to $300 less than its direct competitors, delivering the most bang for your buck than any other smartphone that's on the market right now. If you want to see how the OnePlus 6 compared to a few other 2018 flagship devices when it comes to camera and performance, check out the videos linked in the description below. Also, feel free to jump into the comments and share your thoughts and personal experiences about the OnePlus 6. I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say about these devices. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.